I began my life as a ghost in Miami, a talented but invisible marine biologist, dedicating my existence to the ocean's silent depths. My only comfort was my little sister, my silent shadow. My world changed when Mr. Damian Sterling claimed it. He was the volatile, immensely powerful heir to Sterling Shipping, a man whose ruthlessness was legend across the global trade routes. He wasn't just wealthy. He was a tidal wave of possessive charisma who saw the intelligence in my work, not the lack of zeros in my bank account. "This is my Damian, the brilliant, reckless lord of the seas," I would tell myself, trying to anchor the belief that his obsession was love. He was my shelter, my complicated hero. Our relationship was defined by his absolute controlling devotion. For 3 years, Damian treated me like an unrivaled queen. He knew my greatest ambition was deep-sea research, and to facilitate this, he made a decision that shocked his entire industry. He temporarily relinquished his CEO role and moved with me to the Azores, where I pursued a postdoctoral fellowship. I fought against the guilt, knowing the risk. "Damian, you can't risk the empire. The board will rebel and the fleet is vulnerable." But his loyalty was fierce. "It doesn't matter, Lyra. I would lose $250 million just to see you happy. Money is just fuel. You are the destination." He cemented his commitment by purchasing a full-page announcement in 5 languages in major port cities for 300 consecutive days, publicly demanding my hand in marriage. The Sterling family was instantly and vocally opposed to me, viewing me as an unacceptable risk. Damian faced them with his usual brutality. "Damian is confined to the yacht again. Mr. Sterling, the family elders are revoking your access to the port funds," the staff would whisper, fueling my constant anxiety. I tried to free him from the battle. "Tell them to stop. I don't need your name. Just let me stay with you, away from the chaos." But he was obsessed with making me his wife, his ultimate prize. After a short, intense battle, he won. "Lyra, they finally conceded. We are getting married," he roared, his voice hoarse with triumph. "I promised you a life where you could explore any ocean. It's yours now." I believed, truly believed, in our future. The darkness consumed our story just 7 months ago with Coraline Vance, a sharp, ambitious maritime lawyer who represented a rival shipping company. Coraline quickly became Damian's new, consuming obsession. The atmosphere in our private home turned toxic. "Darling, you're becoming hysterical. You know I demand logical composure," he'd say, his affection replaced by cold scrutiny. I attempted to understand his new connection. "Damian, what was discussed with Coraline regarding the new contract?" Coraline, the master strategist, had staged a public withdrawal, cutting all professional ties to make Damian desperate. His paranoia instantly centered on me. "Damian, I swear I didn't contact Coraline." His face was cold, his mind closed. "You are challenging my authority, Lyra." My younger sister, Mia, was my one fragile lifeline. She suffered from severe rheumatic heart disease since childhood 4 years ago, requiring constant specialized medical monitoring and a complex life support setup. Damian had secured her exceptional care, a fact he now ruthlessly exploited. "Don't touch Mia. She's all I have. Please, you must believe me, I never saw Coraline." His response was chillingly cruel. "Coraline's professional dignity is now my immediate concern." He gave me a chilling ultimatum, a countdown against my sister's fragile heart. "Darling, 25 seconds remaining. You know Mia's heart rate destabilizes without her monitoring equipment for more than 60 seconds. You are my trophy, Lyra, and Coraline is my professional necessity," he stated, asserting his absolute ownership. "Confess what you told her to make her back out of the deal." The injustice was a searing pain. "Damian, I haven't seen her since the last trade conference. Why do you choose to believe her lies over my loyalty?" His rage was absolute. "My time is over. Mia is at risk." 10, 9, 8, 7. "Stop. I'll talk." I admitted the soul-crushing lie. I told her to respect our marriage and cease contact with you. His reaction was pure dominance. You disobeyed my direct orders. Remember who funds Mia's life support. Coraline, the calculated lawyer, played the victim perfectly. Mr. Sterling, Ms. Vance is highly distraught. She's doing pro bono work for injured fishermen, offering her legal services for free, his staff reported. Coraline, despite her documented history of impulsive resignation and emotional instability, was, in Victor's eyes, the epitome of ethical integrity. The more she resisted him publicly, the more obsessed he became. Ms. Vance claims your wife harassed her at the dock. She refuses to return to Sterling Shipping, the legal team warned, ensuring I was painted as the volatile, jealous wife. The final, agonizing destruction of my spirit came with the loss of our child. Damien, the pain is overwhelming. Mr. Sterling, call a doctor, I screamed, the premature labor gripping me. Confine her to the isolation suite for a full 24 hours of quiet. Yes, sir, he commanded, his voice utterly devoid of human kindness. The head of security, Mr. Rhodes, pleaded with him. Mr. Sterling, she's hemorrhaging badly. She is losing the baby. Damien's response was definitive. How dare she get pregnant without my express authorization? Do not call emergency services. This child was an unauthorized complication. Leave her where she is. My final, desperate screams were swallowed by the soundproof walls. My baby, please don't let me bleed out. Save our child. The guards were impassive. Ma'am, Mr. Sterling's orders are final. You must remain confined. All I had ever wanted was a child, a legacy of our own. Now, he was sacrificing it for his ego. You locked your pregnant wife in this room to die. The cold, agonizing silence that followed the loss was the epitaph of my love. Damien, the baby is gone. I don't want you. The baby is truly gone. Our marriage was utterly dead. The divorce and the public humiliation were swift. I apologized to Coraline under duress, and she accepted with triumphant malice. The divorce was finalized. $95 million in compensation, a massive, insulting payoff. My heart was a frozen wasteland. I don't want to love you anymore. My body began the slow process of healing, but my spirit was already focusing on the cold, surgical precision required for my escape. Damien, completely oblivious to the magnitude of his actions, was entirely consumed with the public display of Coraline Vance. She was his new status symbol, his constant companion at every trade meeting and fleet launch. Meet Coraline Vance, the brilliant legal mind who navigates my world, he'd announce, his words a calculated dismissal of my scientific contributions. The media was predictably obsessed. How did Ms. Vance manage to capture the elusive Sterling? He's obsessed with her strategic thinking. They proclaimed her the superior intellect, the indispensable partner Damien had been seeking, effectively erasing me from the narrative of his success. Coraline, the ambitious lawyer, demanded his attention relentlessly. Damien, look at this trade agreement I secured. Revolutionary. And this legal loophole too, she'd boast. Damien's fixation was now centered on her emotional instability, which he pathologically reframed as the fragile genius of a keen legal mind. He poured massive funds into specialized psychiatric teams, all to no avail. When the doctors couldn't offer a permanent cure, Damien's temper was terrifying. He threatened to induce the same emotional volatility in himself. I spent over $1 billion on this. You can't even stabilize a basic emotional disorder? You're all useless, he roared. Coraline, the perfect, calculated victim, would calm him. Damien, please, it's my burden. You've done everything. If they can't cure your instability, I'll force myself to endure the same mood swings so we can be equally afflicted, he vowed, his possessiveness twisted into a shared, dark madness. I understood then that his love was terrifyingly generic and replaceable. 4 years ago, when my sister Mia was diagnosed, Damien had hired the world's best pediatric cardiologists to stabilize her. But unlike Coraline, Mia remained critically dependent on her machines. I was finalizing my plan, determined to free both of us from the Sterling cage. "Mia, I'm leaving. I can't take you with me, but I'll make sure you are safe, far from his sight." I had to accept that Damien was not my savior. He was the orchestrator of my destruction. "Just a few more hours, Mia. Then we will both achieve absolute freedom." My plan for erasure was comprehensive and non-negotiable. I had secured a new identity and planned to vanish in less than 48 hours. I auctioned off every single gift, every piece of deep-sea equipment, and every rare map he had ever given me. "Transfer the deed for the Caribbean private island back to Sterling Shipping immediately." I was meticulous. "Everything here belongs to Damien, and it all goes back. It's time to become completely untraceable." The secluded dock where he proposed, surrounded by ocean light, was utterly meaningless. I burned a fragile, hand-drawn chart of a new coral reef I'd discovered, the one he once pretended was his greatest scientific discovery. No point keeping these relics of a lie. The heavy gold compass he gave me, worn for 3 years, was the last item. It symbolized a lifetime of false direction. Damien discovered my purge during the final minutes. "What are you burning?" "Nothing worth your attention," I lied, my voice steady. "Where is the master key to the flagship vessel I gave you?" he demanded. The highly sensitive security item he now wanted for Coraline. "Give it to Coraline. It's no longer my property." I agreed, the irony of returning his key to the kingdom palpable. "We're divorced. It's not mine to keep." I was leaving, and I needed my soul to be truly unburdened. Coraline, the final executioner, engineered a public, career-defining spectacle at a major maritime law conference. "Damien treats you so well, showering you with awards. Don't be jealous. Soon, I'll control all the shipping contracts you forfeited," she hissed. "Coraline, we are divorced. Why are you still here? Damien has no use for you now. Stop being pathetic." I walked away, but she pursued. "I'm leaving. Stop the pretense. You never returned that master key." She claimed her final prize. "I took what belongs to me. Clara Rhodes. I won't let a discarded scientist ruin my legal career." "What are you doing?" she shrieked, executing a flawless dive down a massive glass-walled staircase. She attacked me. She would rather destroy the key than give it to me. She threw herself down the stairs to frame me. She wept, the perfect victim. Damien, utterly convinced, only saw my jealousy. "Security, attend to Ms. Vance immediately. Coraline, my brilliant asset. I'll resolve this." He turned on me with cold fury. "Lyra, why are you so predictable? I warned you not to challenge Coraline. Why can't you simply obey me?" My truth was instantly irrelevant. "She's lying. She injured herself," I insisted. "You always defy me. You won't admit your jealousy. Fine, you know the consequence. Family discipline." I reminded him of his own pain. "Damien, you chose the rod over abandoning me." He was punished severely by his family. "I will marry her, grandfather. I will never marry another woman," he had declared. Now he was the executioner. "Damien, what did I mean to you?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He simply ordered me to apologize to Coraline. A former captain on his fleet offered the final, cold wisdom. "Mr. Sterling needs total intellectual submission. If you want to stay, you must be his compliant asset." I understood the dynamic. Damien was a controlling, narcissistic patriarch. I was his puppet. Coraline was simply a more polished, current version of the compliant mind he demanded. The only thing left to do was leave the stage, permanently. If you followed Lyra's devastating journey, through the loss of her child, the fear for Mia, and the constant, crushing psychological warfare, You know this story is about the immense battle to save your soul from a love that tries to own you entirely. Her final, quiet decision to choose herself over his billions is the ultimate act of heroism. If Lyra's resolve to walk away, leaving his fortune and his madness behind, resonated with the quiet strength in you, please don't let this moment pass in silence. Stop scrolling, tap that like button, and hit subscribe to join our community of survivors. More importantly, I want to hear your voice in the comments. If you had to write a fictional ending for your own hardest chapter, what one character, like Coraline or Damien, would you erase completely to find peace? Let's connect through our stories and turn our pain into wisdom. Your honesty is what keeps this channel alive. Thank you, from the depths of my heart. My departure was not an emotional crisis. It was a necessary operation executed with the cold logic of a scientist. I spent 6 days finalizing the logistics. I had already secured the $95 million and immediately allocated the vast majority of it to a cutting-edge, specialized pediatric cardiology center in remote Alaska. My focus was entirely on my sister, Mia. I established a permanent, fully funded trust for her continuous medical care, covering all her complex heart and respiratory needs. My instructions to the facility were absolute: a high-security, completely anonymous transfer, and verifiable secrecy from any and all entities connected to Sterling Shipping. With the funding secured and the transfer scheduled, I made my final clandestine trip to the Sterling compound. The moment I arrived, I was intercepted by Damien's brutal security detail. "Ms. Rhodes, Mr. Sterling has issued a new order. You are strictly forbidden from the medical wing." I knew instantly. Damien was moving to exploit Mia's vulnerability. A desperate, terrified nurse managed to slip me a note. "They are trying to seize Mia's heart monitor. Your sister's life is at risk." Damien had sent Coraline's uncle, a known mercenary, and a security detail to reclaim the proprietary life support machinery. "What are you doing? This is a pediatric unit," I screamed, confronting the men. "My brother-in-law, Mr. Sterling, wants this equipment. It is his property. Get out of our way," Coraline's uncle shouted, his face contorted with malice. "No, please. Her heart will fail." I fought them, throwing my body against the complex machinery. I shoved Coraline's uncle hard, sending him stumbling back against a stack of equipment. "You unstable maniac! You assaulted a family member! This equipment belongs to Damien. If you want revenge, go fight him," they snarled. The final, fatal blow was delivered. The heart monitor and life support were forcefully disconnected, causing immediate catastrophic heart failure. "Damien, make them stop! Save my sister!" I screamed, the sound of my desperation swallowed by the sterile room. Doctors rushed in, but the damage was irreversible. The paralyzing shock of that moment was a cold, absolute silence that transcended all my previous trauma. "Mia, my sweet sister, I should have protected you better. This is my fault. I regret every minute I wasted trying to be his wife," I whispered, holding her small, cold hand. "Mia, I'm taking you home. We're going to be free." I quickly arranged the necessary documents for her cremation. Her death was the final price paid for my absolute freedom. Her suffering became the catalyst for my liberation. I arranged for a simple memorial for the life we would never share, but I carried her favorite, worn-out plastic seahorse toy with me. "Mia, I won't leave you. You were always my anchor. Now you'll travel with me." Her passing meant Damien had no leverage left to control me. My final conversation with Damien was brief and terrifyingly calm. "Love, just be patient. Once I finish this hostile takeover, I'll make everything right," he purred, still convinced I was his trophy wife. He tried his last, empty threat. "You need to be compliant, or your sister will suffer the consequences." My voice was a monotone of truth. "My sister is gone, Damien. You have nothing left to threaten me with. I have nothing to lose." His denial was explosive. "If you behave, no one will suffer. Where do you think you're going? You cannot leave me, Lyra. You cannot exist without me. I played the role one last time. You are right. I can't live without you. I'm just going to rest. I need to be beautiful for our upcoming anniversary. The escape plan was fully activated. Ms. Rhodes, your liquid assets transfer is complete. Understood. Mia, we are leaving. I booked a one-way flight to Country G. Flight AF 9999 is now boarding at Gate 15, last call for passengers. With my new identity and my sister's memory, I felt an exhilarating, terrible finality. Mia, be happy for me. I am no longer Damian Sterling's possession. I am free. Damian Sterling, may we never cross paths again. Damian, meanwhile, was preparing a massive, narcissistic spectacle for our 4th anniversary, convinced he could buy my forgiveness. Mr. Sterling, the venue is ready. The maritime antiques are all in place, his staff confirmed. Lyra will be so moved. She'll run back to me, he declared. The discovery of my absence broke him completely. Mrs. Sterling is not home, sir. All her financial accounts are closed. His world shattered. She abandoned me. I was her entire life. Where could she possibly go? He demanded immediate action. Find her! I refuse to believe she'd abandon Mia. The ultimate truth, delivered by his terrified chief of security, confirmed his ruin. Mr. Sterling, all records are wiped clean. Your wife is gone. And sir, her sister, she passed away several days ago. Damian erupted in a terrifying, primal fury. How could she die? I paid for the best care. Lyra, you set me up. You think I won't find you? I will use every resource. I will track you down to the ends of the earth. Lyra Rhodes, stop this pathetic pretense. If you won't come back, then stay gone forever. His desperate roar was the last sound of the prison I had escaped. Damian's sanity shattered completely, transforming his grief into a destructive, volatile force that threatened to capsize Sterling shipping. Coraline Vance, still clinging to her perceived power, approached the ruined CEO. Damian, this is ridiculous. I'm here now. Why the tantrum about Lyra? She challenged, thinking she could regain control. His gaze was empty, focused on a distant internal horizon. You were nothing more than a legal appendix, Coraline. My approval gave you status. Without it, you are irrelevant flotsam. You dare compare yourself to my wife? Faced with his sudden, devastating cruelty, Coraline threatened to resign, but he seized her with cold control. You are my asset in this game, Coraline. You will fulfill your contract, or you will sink. His desperate hunt for me began with a terrifying, absolute retaliation. Mr. Sterling, the investigation is final. Mrs. Sterling liquidated all assets, including the Caribbean island, and completely disappeared off-grid. She wants to be gone forever, his chief investigator reported. Damian's first act was vengeance. Arrest Coraline Vance's entire family. Lyra, I will avenge you. He tracked down the lawyer who handled Mia's trust. Where is the lawyer? Tell me. Lyra left a massive fund for Mia's care. Name your price. Damian's cruelty against Coraline was public and relentless. He had her entire family imprisoned and subjected her to the same psychological and physical abuse I had suffered, including forcing her into public humiliations and targeted stress. You caused Lyra's breakdown and the loss of my child. Now pay the price. He then orchestrated the financial ruin of her father and commanded his staff to subject Coraline to intense, targeted stress, including simulated near drowning, until I returned or she broke. Listen closely. This is only the beginning. I must repay the debt of pain I owe Lyra. Meanwhile, I was quietly building my new life in Country G, a secluded Mediterranean coastal city known for its marine research, completely anonymous. I had adopted the identity Clara Solis. Note, reused name for consistency, but context is different. Damian knows my old patterns. This anonymity is my only safety. The past is finally starting to recede, I reflected, finding a deep, restorative peace in my chosen obscurity. I kept only a single, heavily researched fragment of a deep-sea sonar map he had once gifted me, the tangible proof of my true purpose. My first true connection was with Dr. Alexios Petrovas, a kind, brilliant oceanographer. "Hello, I'm Dr. Petrovas, your neighbor. Your research on deep-sea currents is truly groundbreaking. It shows real foresight." I was guarded. "I'm new here, Dr. Petrovas. I prefer a low profile." Damien's obsession, however, knew no boundaries. He was eventually released from custody after his estranged uncle, who had always opposed Damien's cruelty, intervened. Damien's immediate action was to eliminate his internal enemies. "You will spend the rest of your life watching Sterling Shipping dominate the market. Lyra, I am coming for you. I know you still love me. I will bring you home." His corporate revenge was swift and absolute, recovering all the company's financial losses in 3 days and proving his terrifying power was fully intact. Damien finally located me through the government official who changed my identity. Her new identity is Clara Solis. Find her. He arrived in Country G, tracking me to my small, quiet apartment overlooking the Aegean. He found me running deep-sea simulations. "Sweetheart, I'm here to take you home. Clara, you are my ex-wife." I introduced him to Dr. Petrovas. "Damien, we are finished. Please leave." He was desperate, seeing the genuine, peaceful connection between Dr. Petrovas and me. "I can explain everything. Coraline was just a tactical error. We can try for a family now. I only love you." I stared at him, my heart cold and immovable. "I don't love you anymore. You can control the seas, but my heart is no longer yours." He saw the absolute, terrifying truth of my rejection. He left. The man who once commanded my total devotion now defeated by my simple, profound freedom. I continued to build my new life, meticulously removing the possibility of his shadow ever touching me again. Dr. Alexios Petrovas became my trusted colleague and friend. "Clara, your new deep-sea thermal vent project is exceptional. You should present it at the upcoming International Oceanography Symposium," he encouraged, his support purely based on my scientific talent. His gentle encouragement was everything Damien's demands were not. Damien, however, refused to accept defeat. He bought the entire coastal villa next door, sending daily gifts and rare nautical artifacts, desperately trying to recreate the early magic of our relationship. "Little Mermaid, I brought you a signed Captain Nemo novel. We are neighbors now. I'll bring you treasures every day." I remained completely unmoved. "Damien, stop wasting your time. Your gifts mean nothing. I stopped loving you a long time ago." On what would have been our 5th anniversary, I ended the charade forever. "Damien, you can come in. This is the last time." I gave him my 3 impossible demands. "I wish my sister were healthy and whole. I wish my child were safe in my arms. I wish for all the cruelty to be erased. We are done. My only wish is that you vanish from my life forever." He was devastated, clinging to the only token he saw as proof of my continued devotion. "You're lying. You still have that old sonar map fragment. You still care." I placed the fragile map fragment in a beaker of salt water. "It means nothing. It's obsolete, and I'm discarding the past." A few days later, Mr. Rhodes found me. "Ms. Solis, Mr. Sterling suffered a catastrophic, near-fatal accident. He's in a coma, calling your name. For the 3 years you shared, please go see him." My resolve was absolute. I am not Mrs. Sterling. I will not give him false hope. His fate is his own. Damien, upon briefly regaining consciousness, received the final devastating intelligence. His uncle and Coraline had orchestrated the latest accident and financial scheme to seize control. Damien, in his final conscious act, signed his last will, transferring all his assets to me. Rhodes. All my wealth goes to Lyra Rhodes now. He then discharged himself from the hospital, beginning a solitary, desperate journey to retrace our past, searching for the innocent love he had destroyed. He was found lifeless at the base of a coral-covered sea cliff overlooking the Aegean Sea, while retrieving a rare antique nautical chart we once studied together. Mr. Rhodes delivered the final news and a small, worn, marine-themed locket. Mr. Sterling passed away. He left everything to you. He wished for you to create a foundation for ethical marine research and ocean preservation, in your name. My final words were whispered to the quiet air, the words of a survivor who finally won. I will honor the Foundation's purpose. Rest in peace. May we never cross paths again. My peace was complete, secured by the terrible final price of the man who had loved me, tormented me, and ultimately died trying to buy back the love he had thrown away.